After so many years, so many pledges, so many prayers from the community, a very large cat is out of the bag. This is the UCS Venator. This one's gonna squeeze out your wallet a little bit. $650, October 4th is the release date, with the early access for the insiders, formerly VIPs, on the 1st of October, 5,374 pieces, and 2 minifigs of Rex and Yularen. In terms of dimensions, this thing is only a centimeter shorter than the ISD, the UCS ISD that is. But in terms of looks, it is far more superior. I was always a fan of the Venator ships, much more than I was of the further later Imperial designs. There is plenty of shots to go through. I think my favorite one is by far this. This is the look of the Venator we kind of grown to love, right? When that shot from the second prequel movie when Anakin and Obi-Wan are just flying above Coruscant and they pass a Venator, you kind of see the ship from that angle with a similar lighting from a star shining some light on one side and the other being in the shadow. So that shot tells me how accurate, how well designed in terms of shaping and just proportions this set is. Something I notice in this shot, however, as I look at this, is there appears to be a tiny itsy bit of a gap here. Not sure if that's because you maybe connect two different Technic frames together and that's where this connection happens, but you can see a little bit of a shot of a gap here, whereas, you know, the rest of the ship is very solid looking and there are no gaps to be seen. Something just I noticed from that very particular vertical shot. The stand is not the best. I mean, I think it's gonna be a more sturdy design than the ISD. That thing was kind of weird, like every time you pick it up, the stand would like kind of disconnect in between the joints, and it was weird. So this time we have two different posts for the stand. It doesn't look that, you know, enticing, plus the missing feature is that you cannot really connect the stand with the minifigs, the plaque, and the new included 20-year anniversary of Clone Wars brick. So that's probably a disadvantage for some, so, you know, it's not connected to the set. But nevertheless, the stand for a ship like this looks very bleak, and maybe they could have used something canted, but probably at this scale, it's not really that easily possible. Of course, one thing about the Venator that I take over the ISD design is the coloring. The Republic color scheme with dark red and gray just looks better. We can all agree on that. Just the sheer contrast of the ship and the more interesting just look of the ship is winning here. We have the introduction of the dark red ingots, I believe, for the first time, and plenty of tiling. As you can tell, there is this ongoing LEGO trend in design that we have a mixture of studded areas and plated areas, which is, for me personally, I love that look. I love that LEGO models are having that more kind of tile-friendly look over the time of the LEGO company and their designs, and this is prevalent here. The ISD had some of that, but not to that extent. So in that case, I really like the front look. We could of course ask that the front hangar bay would slide open to the sides like in the Venator in the shows, in the movies, but it's not the case. In fact, as I mentioned, that the set doesn't really have any play features, which is, you know, something I don't expect from a UCS set at all, but it doesn't. So you know, there is no like hangar bay opening, there is not even like a long side flight of some formations like we had the Tantive 4 next to the ISD. In this case, we only have an LAAT in the hangar bay, kind of micro LLAT. Would be really nice to have these clear pieces and put a few Arc 170s and gunships alongside the Venator, but again, it's probably nitpicking here as I compare it to the ISD, which had the Tantive 4. I would love to see that in this set. It's not the case, and most of all, probably LEGO would have a hard time designing a itsy bitsy tiny Arc 170 to fly along at this scale. So they went with the hangar bay hugging LAAT right here on the side. Aggressive look from the front, and funny enough, this you can't unsee it now. This is literally Jar Jar Binks from the front. You can see the eyes. Anyway, it looks great, especially that lighting again. Beefy engines in the back, as you would expect. Fun fact, I think here, which is not supposed to be a fun fact, but finally LEGO seems to be doing photography for these. These are not renders. I hope they're not, unless they're a very good composite, but they're not renders. Lately LEGO has been overusing renders, so in this case I think we just have photography here. Thank you. So you can actually see how the ship looks like. Beefy engines. You can see those giant kind of excavator wheels portraying the engine bay. Again, I always thought the Venator look is much more unique, much more cool looking than that of an ISD or the further Imperial designs. Still looks excellent. The ship doesn't cut any corners, pun intended, from any sides. Again, that top look. It's just every single area seems to be well detailed. We have the emblems on a large printed plates, so that's nice too. The bridges are very detailed. The turrets, just the shaping of the wings, the pattern on the wings, it's all well done. That is a very nice angle as well to look at. The Venators look excellent from the side kind of back angle. Of course, you can see the hangar bay again. Again, no features, as you can tell. But the superstructure, the command structure with the two bridges looks excellent too. We have those transparent blue bricks here to show the decks of the bridge and the front of the bridge of the command and the starfighter bridge as well. So that is awesome. I love that little waterfall design in the back, as the Venators are known for that specific type of shaping in the back, and that's recreated with a bunch of vertical slopes in the back. Love that thing. And also you can see how well it kind of flushes into the back. Then we have some studded area with the wedges here, and then it goes to a very clean design for that tail of the Venator, with mostly like side bricks used and tile used, so you can only see only a few studs at the very back of the ship. The underside, nothing here to be really, raving about. However, I do like there is a ton of gribbling around the rear stand assembly, so you can. We don't see much of a Venator underbelly in the content on Star Wars, so this is nice to see that there is a detailed underbelly gribbling in here with the engine assembly, probably some other systems here, and there is the opening of the lower hangar as well. So there is detail if you need to see it. If you have like a glass shelf and you need to look at it from time to time as you approach your beautiful model, then it's nothing to be ashamed of. There is nothing really looking bad on the underbelly. It could be more, like maybe again a little like Arc 170 or something, like the ISD had the TIE fighters hanging here, I believe. So something could have been a little bit more here, but I don't think that's the case here. Still, I'm pretty happy that they did that gribbling design here. As for the minifigures, we have Yularen, exclusive, obviously. Nothing too fancy on this guy. It's as simple as it goes to an officer outfit. Okay, but I mean, he's gonna be exclusive, so I'm not too keen on the minifigures on these sets. I just, I don't really buy these for minifigures. I buy these for an epic grand scale design and a beautiful model. So in this case, I'm not that super into it. And the back of the box, of course, you can see there are no features to be featured, so you only see shots from various scenes as the Venator is featured in the content of Star Wars. So, and now human for scale, there it is. The plaque is printed also, by the way, and I believe the little 20th anniversary of Clone Wars is printed too, as we got the the Star Wars little print in the, for example, the midi scale SSD Super Star Destroyer. So this is the first time we actually get a Clone Wars homage to it. It is really so weird they don't really have a high-res picture of Rex, but he's missing some elements of his design for sure, so he could have been better. There is a pauldron here. Printing seems to be detailed, but again, even from that picture I can't tell any better. We're gonna have to wait and see from the actual minifigure as people start getting the set or LAN members start getting reviews. Overall, I'm very pleased with this set. There is nothing really wrong with it, as long as you can afford it. That is a hefty chunk of change, a very hefty chunk of change. $650 is a lot, but I think it's a better value than the ISD actually, considering oh, you can see how he picks up, it's very sturdy. Considering the sheer amount of pieces you're getting and the source material, we never really got a Venator at this scale. You can see the printed plaque here as well. You can clearly see how the light reflects. There is definitely not a sticker. Overall, I am pleased. I'm happy it exists. Were we gonna be seeing a play scale Venator in the future? Might be the case, but for now the question remains, at $650, are you skipping or are you buying? Thanks for watching.